Welcome to a further episode of the theme pH value. Today is about these devices. Which one is the best to establish the pH value?
A very warm welcome to PCE Instruments, your manufacturer of test and measuring instruments for industry, trade and research. PCE, professional, calibrated equipment.
Well, you'll probably think, well, pH value, we have already had that. In the first episode, it was about why a pH value is so important, what you have to pay attention to, and what you can do. When the earth is so acidic or alkaline, today in this episode is about these small items. I would like to share my experiences with them, how the device is suitable to measure the pH value. It is a NEUDORFF test set where you can relative, and I think it is pretty complicated. Laborious to test, or a device what costs 25 to 30 euros, or a high performance testing device with actually 120 euros cost from the company PCE Instruments. And that I will today share my personal experience with you. I said we can start with the NEUDORFF set. Why do I think it is complicated? For one, I can only do a measurement in one place with one measurement. In the first episode I said that the pH value fluctuates, and my experience has shown, so to say, over there it can have 6.5 and over here it can have 6.3 or 6.6. It is in the earth very different. This earth test or need in principle, there is everything possible with it. Most of you know it. It is a relative common. It costs around 6 or 7 euros. There's for one distilled water in it, and a tablet, and also a glass tube, and into the glass tube you fill your dirt into, and up to 10 milliliter. It is all described on the back. Then you put the distilled water into it, and then the tablet. Then you shake it all up. Then it shows here if the ground is neutral, weak, sour or strongly sour. My experience has shown here the color is never clearly to see. You have to hold it up against the sun, you have to look carefully at it, and against the sun it all looks the same. If I look at it with a white background, I can say, okay, it is neutral, but I think it is too inaccurate. If you have a look, you have here a pH value of 6.75. And what do I have also for exactly? 6.75 or 4 in between does not exist. And like I said, the colors are pretty inaccurate. There are, I think, around 8 tablets with it. Okay, you can do 8 measurements. The device is cheap, or the parts are cheap. I'll link everything at the bottom of the video description. I think it is relatively complicated and lavish, and as I said, inaccurate. Well, as I said, the earth analyzed from NEUDORFF, I don't think it is so good. I think better are these electronic devices. I bought one here from Amazon. It cost me around 25 to 30 euros. That is principally a device that I just stick into the grass. It has around 25 to 30 centimeter rod. You don't have to go that far in. It is enough when you go down and get to the upper roots horizon. I measure by me. I have the poapazina in the roots, are maximal 5 centimeter deep. I take by me around 5 centimeters. By your grass, if you don't have poapazina, I would recommend around 5 to 10 centimeters to measure the device. How does it work? It is pretty simple. You can turn it here on. Absolutely normally I turn it off. And at the back I have here a switch. I can measure either the pH value or even the temperature. I think it is pretty cool. When it is turned on, it always shows the pH value of 7. And when I just stick it in, that is around 5 centimeters. The whole device starts. I'll turn it to here because of the sun. The device starts to pendulum. It all takes a while, and when it doesn't move anymore, then it has the ideal value determined. It shows at the moment 6.0. It might go down to 5.5. No, it says so. Well, it shows me on this place exactly 6.0. Now it has 5.5, 6.0. It varies, as you can see. I would say it has 5.7. The advantage of this device is you pull it simply back out and walk to a different place and measure somewhere else. Here I have what I have said, burnt my grass through too much fertilizer, where I recorded a fertilizer video. I'll measure it all again. Here, we go back in. Again, around 5.6 centimeters. So I hope you can see it. Yes. It pendles itself back in again, 7.5, and goes down to 7. According to my experience, it goes down to around 6. Yes, 6.5. Okay, it stays at 6.5 at the moment, and I find it relative hard to say. It has at one space, so now it is 6. As you can see it, as here 6, there 5.5 to 6 shown. I can't imagine that my grass in a few meters or centimeters has so extreme difference. And that is the problem by this cheap one. I don't know, does it work really exact? Does it work, does it not work? I have done a counter test before I did an earth probe. It showed between 6.5 and 7, depending where I measured, and the earth analyzer showed 6.8. So in fact it works very good, and it fluctuates relatively strong. I said in the first part that the pH value fluctuates, but I still don't know if the device really works. I have no possibility to calibrate the device. The device is naturally not calibrated, and somewhere from China, clear, and as I said, it only costs a few euros. That is why I have a high performance measuring device. I'll show you it quickly. I will though only show you it short. I will check it against the others. The device is a bit complex, a bit more complicated, and I have to explain more. For the device I will do a separate video, because you have to be very careful. So now we come to my high performance measuring instrument from PC Instruments. It is a German company. If the part is produced in Germany, I don't know. Anyway, the company has extreme experience and a long time experience overall with measuring technique. I didn't know that you could measure so many things. For example, pH values. You can measure all sorts of things. They have all sorts of measuring instruments. I'll show you the device. Like I said, it is a really good and expensive device, but it is also extreme sensitive. In a separate video, I will go into it more deeply, what it all is and how it works. I will just show you how it is all built up. Principally, you have here a small computer, a small measuring instrument, and here's the measuring probe. This is a highly sensitive, but like I said, a separate video will come. There are all calibration solutions with it. You can set the device exactly so it works properly. The device is insanely accurate with a deviation of 0.07. As you see, that goes into the extremely exact area where you can really reach perfection. That is ideal for me, but not for the rough. You have to intensely work with it so that a device like this is worth it. So I've put the device together. As you can see, that is what it looks like put together. The measuring tip is made of glass. That is why be extremely careful. It is not armored glass or so, a very fine glass. I will measure this against it, what it shows. And here we will measure with this device. Like I said, it is glass, you have to be very careful. That is why you have to prepare a hole and carefully put it in. So the Amazon device shows 6.5 and the high performance device shows 6.66, 6.68, 6.67. Amazon falls to 6. And as you can see, there is a massive difference. This device here from PC Instruments, like I said, it is calibrated. I calibrated it beforehand and it shows everything exactly. The Amazon device shows 6. If I stick a bit to the rear in it, shows maybe 6.5, and if I stick it further down it might show 7. It is okay for a rough estimate, but is nothing where you can say it is extreme exact. Both devices are standing next to each other, and it shows here 6.0, and this device, which was proven and calibrated, shows 6.87. As you can see, it is a massive difference, and naturally, I said in the first part that the pH value in my heavy ground, should have between 6 and 6.5. By 7, you have to do something. I have 6.8. I am on the top level. If I trusted the Amazon device, I would say, okay, it is perfect. When it shows 6.5, then it could be that this device gives out false values. The Amazon device fluctuates really extremely. So or so, depending on the mood. With the more experienced device, I know it is calibrated and it is perfect. And then highly exact with a deviation of 0.07. My personal conclusion, honestly, the NEUDORFF test said when you are just starting and want to work into the subject, then it is okay to get a rough reference point. Where does it lay at all? You can get it at every hardware store, garden centre for around €7, but not if you want perfection, or if you are already professionals. The Amazon device, let's say, okay, I've used it for years, it is good, it tells you a lot exactly as the NEUDORFF test said, or there are other test sets. Not only NEUDORFF, there are different producers. The Amazon device goes more into the hobby professional area. It is okay, it is worth the money. Through the temperature is okay with the temperature sensor. You can in spring or summer or autumn determine your earth's temperature and bring your fertilizer out. Is it the 10 degrees earth temperature, yes or no? It is in the whole okay. I think it is good. It is definitely a recommendation to buy. But if you want an exact perfection and want to know exactly what your grass is doing, if it needs chalk or is it too alkaline, you won't come around without this. But I also say, if you want to buy a device like this, then I would advise you to have a look in a different video from me. There I go explicitly. Only with this device, it has naturally a lot of advantages, but also a disadvantage. It is very sensitive, and there I go into the settings of the device more intensive. That's why, as I said, all devices, and when you are interested in this, you can find all devices in the video description. There is a link in it from Amazon, and naturally a link from this device. Good, I hope you liked it. I hope I could explain your horizon and help you make your decision easier. Which device you want to use in future or could. And I would be very happy when the next time you tune in. When you have not subscribed, then do it. Now it would make us happy and help us. And thank you for watching. Until the next time, goodbye.
Discover and order the latest measuring and test equipment now on www.pce-instruments.com.